Winnie, The True Story of the Bear Who Inspired Winnie-the-Pooh by Sally M. Walker. When Harry Colburn looked out of the train window, he couldn't believe what he saw. A bear at the train station! The train stop would be short, but Harry had to get off and see the bear for himself. Harry hurried onto the platform and sat nearby. "What are you doing here, little bear?" The cub climbed into Harry's lap and licked his chin. "She's for sale," said the man, holding her leash. "I didn't see her until after I'd shot her mother. I don't want her. I can't care for a bear." Harry could care for a bear. He was a veterinarian. "How much?" Harry asked. $20. The train whistle blew, and Harry decided. He paid the man, picked up the cub, and carried her onto the train. Harry's friends asked a million questions, but the captain asked the loudest. "Harry, what in the world were you thinking?" "That I had to save her." The cub rubbed her back against the captain's legs. The captain patted her head. "I'll care for her, sir," Harry said. "I'll feed her condensed milk. She can stay with me in the camp. Winnipeg can be our mascot." "You've already named her?" asked the captain. "Yes, sir, after our company's hometown." "Well, Winnipeg," the captain said, "welcome to the army." By the time they reached the military training camp at Valcartier in Quebec, Winnipeg had been shortened to Winnie. Harry's job was caring for horses that would be needed for battle. Winnie's job was being Harry's shadow. While Harry listened to a horse's heart, Winnie nuzzled its muzzle. If the horse snorted and scared Winnie, Harry cuddled her until she stopped trembling. Winnie's favorite game was hide-and-seek biscuits. Using her long claws, she pulled hidden biscuits from Harry's pockets. "Good girl," Harry praised when she succeeded. Sometimes Harry went places where Winnie couldn't. Then other soldiers cub-sat. They photographed Winnie. They took her for walks. But no matter where Winnie went during the day, she slept under Harry's cot every night. One morning, while Harry tied his bootlaces, Winnie grabbed the tent pole. The tent walls shook. "Winnie, no!" Harry shouted. After that, Harry let Winnie climb small trees, but he always held her leash so she couldn't climb too high. A month passed. Then the captain received bad news. "The war across the Atlantic Ocean is getting worse. More soldiers and horses are needed. We must leave Canada and go to England. The ships will be leaving in a few days." Harry couldn't leave Winnie. "Sir, she must come with us," the other soldiers agreed. When the horses and soldiers boarded the SS Manitou, so did Winnie. Winnie was a good sailor. Harry wasn't. He lay seasick in the ship's hospital. While he was sick, Winnie played with the other soldiers, but she ran straight to Harry as soon as he was better. In England, Harry, Winnie, and the other horses traveled to a new military camp. For 7 weeks, Winnie watched soldiers practice marching. She heard gunshots when they practiced shooting. Still, every night she slept under Harry's cot. One day, the captain said, The war is even worse. We must go to France and care for horses that get wounded. On a battlefield, Winnie could be hurt, even killed. Harry didn't want to leave Winnie, but he couldn't take her to France. He thought long and hard. Finally, Harry contacted the London Zoo. Winnie, the zoo has a brand new place called the Mappin Terraces, which is built just for bears. Zookeepers know exactly how to care for a bear. The ride to the zoo was long. Winnie sat on Harry's lap. She wiggled on the seat. She scratched at the door. Harry was relieved when he and Winnie got out at the zoo. A zookeeper escorted Harry and Winnie to the Mappin Terraces. Harry removed Winnie's collar and leash. She climbed over a rock. She sniffed two brown cubs. She lapped condensed milk when the zookeeper offered it. Harry was satisfied. Winnie, I'll visit whenever I can. When the war ends, we'll go home to Winnipeg. Harry hugged Winnie goodbye. Winnie and the brown cubs became fast friends, but the big Himalayan bear she approached wasn't so friendly. He swatted at Winnie. Winnie ran as far as she could. The zookeepers were worried, but even the grumpy Himalayan bear couldn't resist Winnie. Within a few days, they were playing tug-of-war with a stick. We've never met a bear as gentle as Winnie, the zookeeper said. They trusted her so much that they sometimes let children ride on her back. Harry visited Winnie whenever he could, but the war lasted 4 years. During that time, the zookeepers took good care of his bear. Winnie had many friends. In 1919, just before Harry returned to Winnipeg, he made another hard decision. He decided that Winnie would stay at the London Zoo permanently. Harry was sad, but he knew Winnie would be happiest in the home she knew best. One day, when Winnie was nearly 11 years old, a little boy visited her. "Oh, Bear," cried the boy, whose name was Christopher Robin. He hugged Winnie and fed her milk. The boy's father, a well-known author, watched his son laugh and play with the bear. All the way home, Christopher Robin talked about Winnie. At bedtime, Christopher Robin and his teddy snuggled under the covers. "Would you and Edward Bear like to hear a story?" asked the boy's father. "Yes," said Christopher Robin, "but Edward has changed his name to Winnie-the-Pooh. Once upon a time, his father, a bear named Winnie-the-Pooh lived in a forest. More stories followed, until one day they grew into a book. After that, the real Winnie became even more famous. Although more people came to see her, Winnie's everyday life remained normal. The zookeepers treated her kindly, friendly visitors scratched her back, and gentle children spoon-fed her milk. For Winnie, this was the best way to care for a bear.